Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Big Al, baby, and I'm in the house. You gotta watch your mouth. Today we're going to be talking about rear view mirror. My goodness, how many times do we look behind us and not in front of us? So stay tuned, and Big Al is going to be right back. It's Big Al, baby. And I'm in the house. You better watch your mouth. Hello, and welcome to my channel. It's Big Al, baby. And I'm in the house. You better watch your mouth. Today's topic is called Stop Looking in Your Rearview Mirror. Why would I say stop looking in your rearview mirror? We all have rearview mirrors that we must look into when we're driving. But sometimes in our life, we concentrate more on what's behind us than what's in front of us. And that's what we're going to be talking today about stop looking back, stop looking in the past, and start to look in the future. Because a lot of times in our lives, we tend to live in the past and not the present. So we're going to be talking about stop looking in your rearview mirror. Stop looking in your rearview mirror. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Like, stop looking in the rearview mirror, the view. The word view here means the act of looking, seeing, and observing. And I don't know about you, but there's been times in my life, and I still catch myself observing and looking in my past. And there's nothing wrong with looking in your past and reminiscing on your past, because a lot of times when you're in your past can build your future. It can motivate you, because I've had things in my past motivate my life. And then there's times when you look in the past and you reminisce too long in the past, things seem to bring defeat. So that's why I say stop looking in your rearview mirror. Because a lot of times when you're looking back, how can you go forward? You can't drive backwards and then trying to go forward. Either you're going forward or you're going backwards. Stop concentrating on your past. Don't focus your attention on the past. When I'm focusing on my past, there is no room for the present. You can't have both, either one or the other. And I choose to go forward in my life. I've had too many things in the past that block my view. Because when you live in the past, things just seem to unravel. They seem to dictate your future. See, you can't let the past dictate your future. Now, you can use it as motivation, like I was saying before. But when I'm always looking back in my past, that hinders me. That cripples me from going forward. So I have to pay close attention to what I'm observing, the view. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? What I don't like is when people tailgate you. Have you ever been tailgated? I think that's so... Have I ever tailgated people? Not really. I'm not a tailgater. But some people, they always, like when you're going to work, they're all on your bumper. They're tailgating. Is your past tailgating you? Are you allowing your past to tailgate you? There has been people that has tailgated me in the past. You know what I do? I pull over on the side and say, hey, buddy, you can go right ahead of me, because I'm not in that kind of rush. But what I'm talking about is your past. Don't let your past dictate to you your future. Don't let your past overtake you. Because when you're looking back and you're focusing back and you're viewing, you're observing, these things from your past, they can hinder you. They can hinder you from going forward. Either you're going forward, or you're in the middle, you're in neutral, or you're looking back. You're stuck in the past. And I refuse to be stuck in the past, because being stuck in the past means I'm not growing. I'm not blossoming. I'm not going forward in my life. The word here means forget. Forget those things in the past. dismiss the mind, stop remembering. Bury, disremember. I like that. Disremember, forgetting those things in the past. And that doesn't mean that you totally dismiss the past. But when I begin to meditate on the things that hurt me, when I begin to meditate on my past and it's affecting my life, I've been there, man. Where things come in your life from your past and you're in the present now. You're doing good, baby. You're handling your business, you're growing, and then that one thing from your past or someone comes and says something. Remember this? Like the word was saying, we were reading. Disremember the past. Some things you don't want to remember, but it takes practice. It's a process. We have to train ourselves not to remember the past, those present things. The past cripples us in such a way it stops us from getting to our destination, which is in our future. And that's powerful. It does stop us. It stops us from getting to where we need to be, where God has us to be at this present time. What do I mean by this? We have to learn to leave the past behind us, and that's difficult to do, because when you've been hurt in your life and things come in your life, or even if a loved one died, sometimes it's hard to let that go, because I've known people that loved one died, and what happens to them is they continue to live in that grieving state. But God never intended for us to live a lifetime of grieving. No, we'll always have that. Remember, you know what I tend to do when I know someone died that I love? What I tend to do is I remember the good things. I remember the pleasant things. I remember the times we laughed, the times we cried, the times we did things. And I try to remember the happy times. I try to remember the good times. I try not to remember seeing them in the grave or in the tomb. That's why I don't go to graveyards. I don't want to remember that pain of death. I just want to see them as living. I want to remember them as living. What's the purpose of a mirror? Oh my goodness. Here we go, baby. The purpose of a mirror. Let Big Al rap to you, baby. Let me rap to you. The purpose of a mirror. Whoo, my goodness. I remember back in the 80s, man. Oh my goodness. When I was doing my thing, I had my afro. I had my bell-bottom jeans, my platform shoes, my butterfly collar. I was ready, man. I was ready to hang out, do my disco, do my thing, looking good, smelling good. That I was looking in that mirror. Woo! I was looking fly. Let me tell you, I was looking good. The purpose of a mirror is to serves as many functions to us, letting us see ourselves. When we put makeup on, wash our face, try our clothes on, this also is true for the animal kingdom too, because they can see their reflection. It shows you the outward exterior of how you look. And let me tell you something about Big Al. There was a point in my life when I couldn't even look myself in the mirror. I couldn't do it. Big Al couldn't look himself in the mirror. I was like, I don't even want to look at myself. And I just couldn't do it, because sometimes when you look in that mirror, you see your real you. You see who you are. But it's not meant to judge us. It's meant to see ourselves as God created us. And when you're not happy with yourself, listen, there can be changes made in your life if you want to change. Mirrors also generally, symbolically, spiritual and psychological depth. They just reveal the outward appearance. They also reveal who we are deep in a deeper level. Generally speaking, mirrors represents a person's depth, soul, and mind. And that is so, so true. It reveals your inner self. It reveals who you are when you look closely, because nobody is with you more than yourself. You think about it, because you have to look at yourself each and every day. of your life and tell yourself who you are. Who am I? You know, I had that for many years in my life. You look in that mirror like, who am I? You know, and I always looked in the mirror when I was a kid. You know, you want to be a superhero. You want to be this. You want to be that. I'm Superman. I'm Batman. You're looking in that mirror, you know, and then you ever go to the amusement parks and they have the big mirrors, and then you look and you're big, you're small, you're tiny. Mirrors do a lot of different things. But we're talking about looking in that rearview mirror, the past of your life. Don't focus on looking behind you. You want to look forward, because a lot of times, has this ever happened to you? You're driving, right, and you're looking in your rearview mirror. This happened to me quite a few times, and it's like mad scary. You be driving, you're looking behind you at what's going on, and you're not paying attention to what's in front of you. And then all the traffic stops, right? And then you're like, you jam on your brakes. You know, you're almost in an accident because you're focusing too much on your past. So look what happens. You're focusing too much on your past because you're living back and what happened back there. No, we need to concentrate on what's happened in front of us. James chapter 1, verse 23 and 24 says this: "For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks at his natural face in the mirror." Verse 24, "For once he has looked at himself and gone away, he has immediately forgotten what kind of person he was." And let me tell you something. Don't get caught looking in the past. Don't get caught looking behind you and focusing and viewing and observing what's behind you, but look forward. Don't forget, like that man, you take that word. Just don't be a hearer of it, but be a doer. And when you're moving forward in your life, you are a doer. You are a doer of the word. You are a doer of God's will. You're moving forward in God. You're doing your thing. You're progressing. You know, step by step, you're growing. Because when you look back, you know what? You're going to get stunted. You're going to get crippled because you can't bring the past into your present. You can do it, but it's going to cripple you. It's going to stunt you. It's going to stumble you. Have you ever stumbled? I always remember this time I stumbled so bad. And you know what's funny? I was not paying attention, and that's why I stumbled. I almost fell down. And if it wasn't for the doors at my job, I caught myself, I would have fallen flat on my face. And what happened was I wasn't looking. And then my job had put up this big curb. And you know those big curbs, they get higher, those curbs. And I was thinking about something that day. And I was going into work, and I wasn't paying attention. And I might have even glanced behind me. Who knows what I was thinking about? I trip over this big curb. I'm stumbling. And when you're stumbling and you're trying to keep your balance, that is the worst thing in the world, because you're trying to stop yourself from falling. Here I am with my lunch bag and my backpack, and I'm stumbling and I'm stumbling. If it wasn't for the doors that were in front of me going into the building, I would have fell flat on my face. So let me tell you something. Stop looking behind you. Pay attention. Focus to what's in front of you, because God has better days for you. God has better things for you. So stop looking behind you in your rearview mirror. What are some of the benefits of a mirror? We were talking about that. You know, what happens when you're looking in the rearview mirror? When you pass a certain location, further you drive away from that location, it's further behind you. You can't even see it anymore. And that's how our past has to be. It has to be when we're driving and we're going forward. And as the further as we go forward in life, the past has to be totally, 100% behind us. We cannot focus on the past and bring it in the present. Focus your attention on the present. It's about having the right attitude going forward. It really is the key to life. Forgetting the past, it takes practice. It is a process of time. I like that, a process of time. It's going to take time to forget your past. But long as you keep that right attitude going forward, you will get get to your destination. I like Luke chapter 9, verse 62, what Jesus had. And in this story, Jesus was talking to these different, it was like three different guys. One said he had to bury his mother. Another one said, I have to go bury my, say bye to my loved ones. And Jesus said this best. He said, but Jesus said to them, no one after putting his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. I like that. He said, if you're going forward, because a plow doesn't go backwards. It goes forward. When you put your hand to the plow, when you're pushing forward in life, when you're working, because, plowing represents work. It plows, because I read something that says when they were plowing, it had to be straight. The lines had to be straight. They were plowing. So when you're plowing, you're going forward in life. And Jesus said, when you're following me, when you're pushing forward in me, and you're going forward, and you look back, and you turn your head and look back, you're not even fit. You know what I mean? You're unstable. You're not even worthy of my kingdom. And that's powerful. Said the kingdom of God, you're not worthy. So we have to concentrate, retrain the way we think about looking in the mirror, not looking behind, but looking in the present. I also like what Paul said in Philippians chapter 3, verses 13 and 14. He says, brethren, I do not regard myself as having laid hold of it. He said, I haven't arrived yet. And sometimes you meet people in life, and sometimes some people think they arrived in life and they have it all together because of their education, because of their money. And listen, some people are gifted, and I give them credit. God bless you, man. God bless you, lady, if you're gifted and you have it. But that doesn't mean you have it all. He said, I regard myself as not having laid hold of it yet, but one thing I do, forgetting. There's that word forgetting again. That word, remembering. I'm forgetting what lies behind. He's forgetting the past things behind him, man. And that's what he's saying. We have to forget the past things behind us, because if not, we're never going to have victory towards the future. He said, forgetting those things that are behind me. And so I have to say that. I'm forgetting those things that lie behind me, and I'm reaching forward to what lies ahead. See, that's what it's all about, my future. What am I reaching toward? What are my goals? What am I doing with myself? Am I constantly reminiscing on the past? I'm looking in that rearview mirror? Or am I like Paul? I'm pressing forward and I'm looking to what lies ahead, forgetting what's behind me. That's so important. Forgetting those things that are behind me. Forgetting those things that lie behind me. And reaching forward to what lies ahead of me, I press on toward the goal of the prize of the upward calling of Christ Jesus. See, Paul said, you know what? I'm pressing forward. So I want you to press forward in your life. Don't continue to look back in that mirror. And if you do looking in your mirror, look to observe yourself. Look to better yourself. Look to fix yourself. That's what it's all about, getting better. Step by step, process. It's all about the process. And you can't cheat the process. So many times in our lives, we look for shortcuts, me included. You look for the shortcut. Oh, that line's too long. Oh, is there a better way? There's too much traffic, the shorter way around. What's the easiest route to get there? You know, we talk to Siri, we talk to this one, we talk to that one. You know, Alexa, what is the shortest route? What is the shortest way? We cannot cheat the process. We have to grow and keep going forward to what lies in front of us, not behind us. We got to remember that. It's not my past. Stop looking in your rearview mirror. And I want to thank you once again for tuning in to Big Al's Life Journey. See you next episode.